Barry van Zyl is 'n bekende tromspeler wat al vir groot name soos Johnny Clegg, Annie Lennox, Peter Gabriel en Die Antwoord gespeel het. Dr. Chris Dalton is 'n mede-professor in bestuursleer by Henley Business School. Wat het die twee manne in gemeen? Wel, hulle het saamgeskryf aan Finding Your Groove, Resonant Leadership in a Disconnected World. En Barry sluit nou by ons aan. Goeiemôre, good morning Barry, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Elsa, and lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, Barry, you went from drumming with Johnny Clegg to an MBA at Henley. How did that leap from arts to business happen?
Well, it's a good question, and I guess it looks like it's a big stretch, a big leap, but for me it was a natural progression. I toured internationally with a variety of artists for over 30 years, including 21 years with Johnny. And all of that taught me lessons about teamwork and leadership and navigating complexity, I guess. And these are lessons that show up in every business. So after decades of touring, I really wanted to understand these dynamics more deeply. And so that led me to do an MBA at Henley Business School. I now teach on the MBA and I'm doing my doctorate, all still with the same institution. So in a way, I just changed instruments really, from drum performance to classroom performance. I kind of like to think of that as changing from a shift from the business of rhythm to the rhythm of business.
Well, that's an interesting way of putting it. But Chris mentored you during your MBA. Was there a moment when music and leadership clicked together for you?
Yeah, there was a sort of inflection point during probably midway through my MBA, and I realized that what makes a great band or a great group of musicians groove, the sense of being in flow, is exactly what makes a great organization successful. It's about taking time to listen with fully engaged energy and, of course, real clarity of purpose. And so Chris, in a sort of an overarching way, helped me see that groove, this musical phenomenon, is much bigger than that. It's actually a framework for leadership and for connectivity. And that was the spark that led to this collaboration and eventually the book.
Well, the book is written as a series of conversations. So why did you decide to use this specific writing style?
I wish I could say it was a clear strategy, but actually, I guess the core of it is that groove's about dialogue. It's not a monologue, and so leadership, like music, happens in a relationship between people. And Chris and I wanted the reader to feel that kind of conversation, not just a lecture. And so the back and forth structure of the book mirrors what happens in, say, a jazz trio when they're trading eighths or trading fours, which is a conversational style of improvising, of soloing. And what occurred to us is this is actually the way we teach on the MBA, through story and reflection and shared learning. So eventually it made sense for us to construct the book in that way.
Mm-hmm. But I have to ask, how did you go about translating a drummer's groove into something a CEO can actually understand?
Yeah, well, yes, good point. Well, we grounded it in science and experience. It's my lived experience, and then Chris brings the sort of academic scientific lens to the writing. And groove's what happens between members of a band. It's not just a drummer. And the state of groove has deep roots in physics and neuroscience, and I guess all talking to embodied human behavior. And CEOs understand this. They understand flow states. They understand peak performance. They understand team alignment. And groove sort of captures all of this. So we took what I'd lived in elite performance and we combined it with leadership theory, and then we found a common language, kind of a bridge between the concert stage and the boardroom in a way.
And who do you think will benefit from reading this book?
Anyone who reads or teaches or collaborates. The book's really for anybody that's feeling disconnected in a increasingly noisy and fast world. So in essence, it's about raising awareness of yourself, of others, and how you work in your environment. And I think the book's really meant to trigger curiosity. Each chapter concludes with a few questions for the reader. So it's kind of aiming at the art of the good question. And of course, good questions lead to better actions.
Absolutely. Where can we find this book and get more information?
Also, it's on Amazon, and the publisher is Routledge, which is a UK academic publisher. So you could source it from the Routledge website. It's in good bookstores, and it's on Amazon.
Barry, thank you so much. Nou daar het jy dit, maak seker jy kry daai boek in die hande en maak ook seker jy gaan maak 'n draai op ons YouTube kanaal indien jy weer na enige van ons interessante gesprekke wil gaan kyk en wil gaan luister. En soos ek altyd sê, jy weet, soos wat jy dalk dan nou besig is jy ook baie welkom om ons op ons sosiale media platforms te gaan volg. En dit sluit Facebook, Instagram en X in. Moet ek nie vergeet van ons heruitsendings later vandag nie, 10:00 vanoggend en dan weer 2:00 vanmiddag. Intussen kan jy ingeskakel bly, want net hierna kuier ons saam met Prop en Kosie Bekes wat hulle nuwe enkelsnit met ons gaan deel. Bly ingeskakel.